Hi guys, it's been a minute. My name's Mardi Mason. I'm the Ideal Protein Health Coach here at Corial Health. Today we're going to talk about something interesting to me. It's fascinating. I've researched a lot, and it's the correlation between your nutrition and mental health. The two major ones is depression and anxiety. But first of all, I want to say I am not a medical professional, so anything that you hear today, I am not giving you medical advice. This is just stuff I've researched, things that I've learned over my own journey. Don't take this to your doctor and be like, my coach said so. Okay. So a little history about my own mental health during weight loss and gain. If any of you are like me and has been a lifer losing weight or yo-yo dieting as they call it, you've dealt with some depression or anxiety correlated to your weight, because it is extremely hard mentally, physically to lose a bunch of weight and then regain it. Ideal Protein does an amazing job on educating about that process though, and it is, I joke about it with my clients, but when you gain weight, it's the most natural thing your body wants to do. So you're human. Congratulations. If you've ever lost weight and gained it, that's a normal process. Your body is trying to make sure that you are always safe, and it sees our fat as a gold bank savings account. And so if you've depleted that tank, your body wants you to refill it. And so the first opportunity that we slip back into old habits, that's what happens. And so when my clients do come back and they're, from maintenance, or if they just financially needed a break or whatever the circumstance, I always do the little bit where I'm like, so, there's some good news. You're human. You gained weight. That's totally normal. It's unnatural to lose weight, which is what I love about Ideal Protein, because they educate you. And that's kind of what we're going to do today. All the stuff that I've researched, some of it came from a nutritional psychiatrist, which I am fascinated with. I would love to actually talk to someone like that and just have a conversation. And then we did a little medical review from the Harvard mental health paper that they did. So some of this is other people's information. I'm not claiming that I made this up, but so fun fact, the National Institute of Mental Health, anxiety disorders are the most common mental illness in the United States. That's 40 million Americans, which is 18% of the population. So if you're struggling, you're not alone, and it's okay. Mental health is something I feel like, just like weight, that gets very dismissed, and it's because I think it's not a broken arm. You can't physically see the actions, and myself personally can be the most depressed, hard to get out of bed, but not one person in my life knows it, because I have a defense mechanism, and it is this beautiful smile, and I can put it on all day long, and then I get home and I can't move out of bed for 4 days. Everybody hides it in their own way and deals with it in their own way. Some people aren't capable to do that, and it shows, and it's like, oh, well, they're just sad all the time. Well, a lot of that has to do with your nutrition. And of course, medical history backgrounds, things like that as well. But they have correlated and done so many awesome studies about the correlation between nutrition and the mental health of anxiety and depression. So specific therapies and medications can help relieve the burden of anxiety. Yet only about 1/3 of people suffering from this condition seek treatment. So out of that 40 million adults, there's a third of those people didn't seek treatment, so they're not recorded. So there's probably a much higher level at this point, especially with the pandemic. I mean, come on. I feel like it's like everybody gets it now. We're just coded. Made it through a pandemic, you get some anxiety and depression. That's not funny. Sorry. Okay. This says my practice. This is not me. This is quoting the medical from Harvard. In my practice part of what I discuss when explaining treatment options is the important role of diet in helping with managing anxiety and depression. And in addition to healthy guidelines such as eating a balanced diet, drinking enough water, and staying hydrated, and limiting or avoiding alcohol and caffeine, there are many other dietary considerations that can help relieve anxiety. And I just kind of made a jot little notes of what I kind of get from a lot of this research that I've absorbed. Number one, don't skip your meals. Eat. It's important to eat. you have to have nutrition. If you do not have nutrition, your body is going to tap into another resource, and most of the time it's your protein. And most of your major organs are made of protein. So it's really important to stay on a consistent schedule to eat. Number 2, limiting processed foods. So processed foods have a lot of chemicals in them, which can cause lots of issues correlated to both of these things. 3, one thing that we take for granted is our sleep. Your body functions in a certain way where it requires rest. And in this day and age, it's somehow acceptable to work yourself to death and get 4 hours of sleep every day. And unfortunately, that contributes to the same issues. Water. Waterboy is actually my most favorite movie, and I think it's hilarious because I always do H2O. Anyway, drinking water is super, super important. I would say over a third of my clients who come to me are dehydrated. Females specifically are supposed to be at 60% hydration, and most average, I would say, come in around 32%, myself included. I was at 30, like real close to being 29%, because I drink soda all the time, or tea, or anything caffeine. And I still, to this day, don't know how people that don't drink any water are alive. I don't get it. Your poor kidneys and livers. I just drink water. Stay hydrated. You'll feel better. Your skin will look better. It is your biggest organ, by the way. So the more water you drink, the better your skin will look. And then last, of course, is the sore subject. Limiting or avoiding caffeine and alcohol. Caffeine is a sore subject for a lot of people, especially me. I feel like I can't function. After 30, I literally feel like you're required to have caffeine. Some of these amazing people who have like clean living don't need it, because it is true. When you eliminate all of those toxins and things that your body doesn't naturally need, you do feel better. It can function normally. It's not required to have that energy input of caffeine. But until I get there, I have a cup of coffee every morning or tea, some sort of caffeine, because I'm human and I have to survive just like all the rest of you. So let's see. So the nutritional psychiatrist, which we're going to link these 2 pages that we found, and you guys can watch them. But this guy that he said 25% of women at childbirthing age are on an antidepressant. 25% of women. That's amazing. Like, and the fact that we don't talk about it, it's like you're not allowed to have mental health days. Like, the same thing with weight. I think they're both in the same kind of category where people feel like they can comment on them without your permission. And I really wish that would change, and we would have an open dialogue and be accepting of people that have mental health issues, breakdowns, stress, panic attacks, binge eating, anorexia, people who are just lost and struggling and feel like they can't figure out how to get healthy. They feel like it's hopeless. I feel like all of that is for your body, your health, your life. I don't feel like it should be shamed in any way, shape, or form. And I'm kind of hoping that this pandemic, if it does anything positive, kind of opens that door in medical and weight loss and mental health, and kind of correlates the two together. Because specifically my element here of Ideal Protein, a patient that comes to me depressed and overweight who loses 30 to 50 pounds, 95% of the time they're off of all of their medications, whether that be their depression, their anxiety, their blood pressure, whatever they're on. Pretty much they heal themselves during this process, because it's not overnight. You don't come into me, depressed and overweight, and magically in 3 months you're healed. That's impossible. I'm not magic, unfortunately. But it's the process. It's every single day you're facing those challenges, and with your coach, you're accountable each week to those things, and you have someone else who's not so close to the problem, and I can kind of help you problem solve. That's pretty much my favorite part about this, is because every person that comes through my door, they're not the same. They may have similarities to other people, but they're still a puzzle. And every single week we're coming up with new challenges that life is going to constantly throw at them, and we problem solve it, and we help them become mentally and physically healthier. And that's what I love about this job, is that I get to see people at their lowest most of the time. They come in that door and feel hopeless, which is my experience. When I started, I teased my manager who had done the program. I said, I don't care what you did. If it's dirt and you had to eat dirt 3 times a day, I'll do it. It clearly worked for you. Let me do it. And it's just desperation. It's trying and failing, losing weight and going to the gym constantly and running and feeling exhausted just to be met with weight gain. And that's one thing that I think should be correlated, is the fact that having weight gain and eating processed foods specifically can cause more anxiety and depression. And you're human, it's natural, it should be an open conversation. So for today, that's kind of what I wanted to touch base on, and I kind of rambled a little bit in there somewhere. So I do want to link these two pages. One's a YouTube video, and one is the Harvard medical, it's called something, not presentation, paper, whatever, research. Research. Okay, let me read through this if there's anything else I missed. Oh, so over the last 2 years, male depression is up 60 to 70% in just the last 2 years, starting in January of 2020. So that's a fun one. Okay, and they did a study in Vietnam, which I thought was super fascinating. So nutrition and depression in isolation. When your nutrition is poor at the lowest versus healthiest, you were 1,000% higher rate to have depression and anxiety. So what does that tell you? We just went through a pandemic where half of us had to quarantine for an entire year. I feel like the depression and anxiety are pretty high. And I feel like a lot of us faced our struggle with food being a comfort during that time as well. And so I hope that you know you're human. And if you're struggling, it's okay. You know, reach out to your doctor or reach out to someone that you feel like you can have a real genuine conversation and get help. That's why I like Untitled Protein, because you don't have to join. I'm not about selling nothing to you. My job is to educate you. And if this is the right plan, cool. If it's not, cool. Find something that works for you and use it. And really don't stop. Even if you try 10 things, keep trying. Because giving up only leads you further down that rabbit hole, and you will eventually get to that point where you're too old to make a change, where you're too old to try anymore. You give up and you just accept, like, I'm broken. This is where I belong. And I don't want that for anybody. I'm 32. God, I'm 32. I lived half my life there. And I have been constantly trying to get out of that, and it is not easy. It's hard. And I wish there was a magic pill. I keep joking saying, it's 2022. Why can't we just hack our metabolics and just fix everything? That'd be amazing. But there's no magic pill. And it takes time and consistency. And so, yeah. I think that's all I had to say about that. I love talking to you guys. Seriously, I could get on a soapbox about processed foods and how toxic they can be mentally and physically to a cellular level. Like, it's sad. I really hope that nutrition and medicine transforms soon, because I don't know that it's really set up in a way to give us the best that we deserve. Anyway, soapbox off. I wish you guys all the best this year. Make 2022, make it work for you. Do whatever you gotta do. And don't stop. Just believe in yourself, because you're more capable than you ever could have imagined. It's Mardi signing off. Hope you guys have a good year.